Um, we're talking about social media, and I'm going to say it really the way it is. We're talking about doing video on social media, and I have a lot of data that I'm going to share with you, and I have actual personal results. I've made a committed decision in the last like 4 or 5 months. I teach. I love teaching. I want to make an impact. I want to see you take what I share with you and teach you and actually put it into real action. And that's been a really big challenge because as I, present a lot of stuff, I look kind of and see, and I'm like, you know what? Are they really doing anything with what I'm sharing? Or they're like, I agree with you, Scott, but I don't know, that's not for me, or I don't have enough confidence or whatever. And so when we talk about social media and how it's evolved, and I'm just gonna say it's getting on video and sharing is what it's all about today. And there's different components. Now, I've been using multiple platforms. I've been using Facebook. Facebook's always been kind of my go-to primary, but I've been using Instagram, not as deep as some people use it. I've been using LinkedIn, YouTube, and even TikTok. So I'm experimenting on all of them, and I have most of my results that I can share with you are a little bit on the YouTube and a little bit on the or mostly on the Facebook. Now, I'm going to tell you I've been doing a video dedicated every day, 60-second videos for 60 days. And in 60 days, I've increased my followers in my Facebook almost 1,600 followers. And I've now surpassed almost 22,000 followers in my LinkedIn account. But I'm using all the platforms. And it's mostly just doing these videos. And if you've seen them, I don't know, you may or may not have, but I'm, obviously different than you. My energy is, getting in front of and potentially attracting talented real estate agents to the brokerage. So if you think about that when you see them, if you feel like I'm talking to you, that's the whole purpose of it. But in my world, it's attracting those. But when in your world, it's about attracting buyers and sellers or people that need whatever real estate services they need. And this is direct stats, and I'm going to tell you, it pulls great data to be able to give you stats like this. So it says here 403% more inquiries on listings with video. That means more than 4 times, right? So, if you're just putting pictures of houses on your posts and stuff like that, maybe, but then the video where you're willing to be in it, that is the big piece because we only show the product that we're representing, but we're not doing ourselves any justice because what do we really represent? We represent ourselves. And so we need to learn how to be included in those videos and be a part of them and be as much focus on ourselves as it is the house itself or whatever that post is about. And then you look down, 58% of buyers won't even engage without seeing the video first. 73% of sellers would rather list with a video savvy agent. 9% of agents actually bother making video. So what a huge opportunity it is. It's massive. And I'm learning really quick. For me, my competing brokers out there, they're not doing any of it either. So I'm getting a lot of attention. And I love it. So this is why. This is all why. What's crazy is I said video 6, 7 years ago, and I maybe I was too early when I started saying you got to do video, got to do video, and no one was doing it and no one was willing to try. And here we are. And so when you look at social media and you're just looking around, you have to be seeing other competing agents doing videos, right? Maybe you only see a very small segment of them, right? Not a lot of them. It says right here, 9%. But if you think about the platform as a place where you're competing for opportunities, how do you stand up? Are you competing? Because if you're not doing videos, those 9% is the ones that are getting all the attention from people going on the social media platforms. And this is a space where you can navigate and increase a lot of opportunity. But the big thing is having the confidence to do it, right? So we'll talk about that because it's not as hard as you think. Views are cute, relationships pay the bills. So it's the content that you're posting. So it is almost always that when we actually sell a listing, that we like, oh, we got to make a post. And it's about the house, right? It's not about us when it should be about us. So you take a picture of the house, you put a sold banner across the picture, put the address up there, and say, I just sold this. That is nothing. That is relevance, right? I sold this, but they don't even maybe know who sold it because your little tiny picture is over in the corner and you're not there really. So it doesn't do a lot. What does a lot is what was the experience like for the transaction, the story behind it. What was it like? What was going on to get the buyer from, starting the journey of buying, finding the home and navigating through the transaction and getting to the closing table? That is bigger. The other part of authority is your expertise, your knowledge, and sharing things that you can share with the public. And I was just thinking about one this morning, and I was thinking, you know what? If I was a real estate agent, I would be making periodic videos. Did you know you can buy a home right now today with a 3% mortgage? Let me tell you how it's done. And you might be saying right now, well, what are you talking about, Scott? There is no 3% mortgage out there. Yes, there is. It's called assumable. So what I did was I just displayed a hook. And when you have that, and people are like, oh, wow. And that's the kind of thing that we want to do. So, attraction, people actually like and hang out with your content. Trust, you deliver so they believe in you and then they take action. So, we're talking about a way to attract new business, not only attract new business, but make you relevant to future customers that may already consider choosing you. Because I believe today that when Mr. and Mrs. Seller says, hey, Scott, come over, we might be considering, we want to sell our house, we would like to interview you. There's a good chance they may look at my social media and they could make an actual determination before I even get to sit down in front of them between me and another agent to say, well, Scott, I know he likes pizza. He posts all his going out to dinner and eating pizza stuff, but I don't see anything really about, his real estate business on there. And that could subliminally cause you not to get business. So, it's almost a necessity, but even in that event, it's the videos that are going to be the most promising things. And so this is the path. You're building authority, you're attracting them, you're creating trust, you're driving them to want to see it again. So now I get these agents out there that I'm giving great tips to on my social media. And I've even had one say, Scott, you're teaching me more in a 60-second video than my brokerage teaches me in an entire week. And so they're very inclined by that. And so they just want to see the next one and the next one. And then they're telling other people to take a look at them. And that's how it's all working. So the action would be, actually getting them to reach out to you and potentially getting them as a customer, but it takes time. So what I've done over this time in 60 days, I'm getting a lot of views. I'm building some audience. I haven't really seen any significant results, but I am feeling it's coming. So it was great because I had two Remax agents sit in my round table that says, "Hey Scott, I want to come see your stuff. I watched your videos." And that's the process. So the other part of the story here is it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's something you build up on and you get enough content out there, and then it starts happening because they've been exposed and now they're wanting to follow you. Why video wins? I kind of already went over that, so we're not going to do that again. Let's talk about the fear. So the fear, I am just terrified of the camera. And I know Veronica, you've done some video, right?
Yes.
And I know my Elizabeth here up in Tallahassee, you're starting to do video, and you could probably tell the story of how it's uncomfortable and it takes a while. And, the first ones, they're not going to look good. They're not going to look good. They're not going to be great. But if you have a desire that this is going to happen, it starts to get easier. And I would think that, for Elizabeth, you're probably still uncomfortable, but you know what? You're kind of getting it, and you're gonna keep trying until you get it. So there's a couple things about it. So one is just do it. Don't think, just do it. But what are we going to prepare? We got to have some preparation. What are we going to say? I don't know. And so I'm going to talk a lot about that. As you can see, me right now on this screen, if this was a video I was making for social media, I look like a ghost. My lighting is not correct, right? So, you got to
Yes.
think about some of those things. You want it to look as best as you can. Um, and then, maybe you'll want to just do it privately for a week and then start to pop it out there. But there's some things that we got to know to make them actually effective, and that's what we're going to talk a lot about. But you just gotta try it. So my mobile phone here, that's my studio. That's the entire thing. I don't need anything else. And do all of you have one of these? I think so, right? We all have
That
one.
really all you're using, Scott? Is just your
That's
mobile
all I
phone?
use. That's
Hmm.
it.
I know when you
I
do your
don't.
outside ones for sure that's what you're using, but I thought your inside ones were like in a little studio type environment.
I could do them, but all my social media ones, I'm actually walking down the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Okay, I get up in the morning. Actually, I make a bunch in advance, but we're going to talk about all that. So, but I don't have a, you can maybe my volume would look a little better if I got a wireless mic. I don't have any of it. I just have this. That's it. And I have an app that I do editing with, and I'll speak about that. But um, do I have to do editing? No, I could just put the raw up, but the editing with the captions and stuff kind of make it a little bit stronger, and stuff. But as I did yesterday in the classroom, I showed them because I wanted to, kind of show and tell more. I took an unedited video that I had ready to edit, and I showed them how I edited it with the captions, some stickers, some background voice in less than 2 minutes. The whole thing edited. It's very quick, but it's something where you
What
have
is
to
the
go in there and
website
try it.
that you use?
I use CapCut.
Oh, okay. That's the one
CapCut.
that I'm using.
Yeah, CapCut, man, you,
Uh-huh.
you can do it so fast. Did you know there's a button that says auto caption and it just listens to it and puts it all on there?
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's really
Because
quick.
it took me more than 2 minutes, definitely.
Well, I'm not going to tell you it's not going to take you 15, 20 minutes the first time you do one, but once you do it 3 or 4 times, you know exactly what you got to do. And literally, I made it from unedited to edited captions, I had pictures on it, and background sound and everything, and I did it in less than they measured me. It was less than 120 seconds.
Okay.
So, so here's the big thing. When you know, so if you go on my social media, Facebook today, and you look at my reels, though I got one on there today. I did it this morning. And if you look at, I mean, I am like in your face. Okay. So I'm like right up there in your face kind of thing. Uh, and I'm energetic when I do it. I want to be in front of you. I want your attention. And so that's my style. We all can have our style, but I want to like pop in. I want to be right in front of you. But here's what I'm doing. I'm talking to one person. I'm talking to you. So when you do these, that's the best thing I can say is just in your world, Scott's sitting in front of you and you're just talking to Scott and you're telling him something compelling that would be good information for them to know. Um, warm up, do a few times, bullet points. You know what? I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to talk about AI. Now I'm to the point I don't have scripts. I have nothing, just a thought in my head and I just go. And so it takes a little while to get to that point, but until you do, there are teleprompter apps that you could use so that you have the words in front of you when you are looking at the camera and talk. And the camera on your phone is obviously at the top, right? So you need to try to keep looking at the top because you don't want it to look like you're looking down. These are all things that you tweak as you do it. Um, you might need. I've done some where I've had to do a few takes of, that's pretty normal. But usually I can go out the door and 5 minutes later, I'm walking back in. I got my video, and then I'm ready to post. Um, Progress over perfection. So I also want to say, even today, I mean, literally, there are Walmart reels on Facebook that's just a generic person talking about a product or bringing attention. So generic is winning. People don't want advertising type videos on there. They want entertaining type or very quality information given to them. That's what they want. So they don't need fancy. They need just real, raw. Here's somebody telling me something that's valuable. And it's quick. You got to be quick. And so there's a whole formula behind this, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Um, so unless you're doing the link trees, you do the link trees this way. For all your social media stuff, you do it this way. So you want vertical phone when you hold it for the correct format. Face the light, don't stand in front of it. You need to kind of have it. Now, I don't have a stabilizer or anything. I just literally hold it and walk slowly. Sometimes I stop walking, but it's not shaky. Once again, it's a practice thing. Look at the lens. Well, actually, look at the lens, not the screen. And sometimes mine are, my eyes are tilted down, so I'm not looking like I should. But if I did a good job recording the video and the message was strong, I just overlooked the fact that I should have been looking up more because the message is strong enough and I just put it out there. So I don't put a lot of care into it. Make sure you're in the middle of it, of course. Make sure that the clarity of the sound is good and stuff like that. Sometimes I get a dog barking or something in the background. With the cap cut, you can actually push a button and it'll take out all that background noise as well. It is good to wipe the lens, make sure it's not dirty, that kind of thing. The three ingredients to every post. authority, attraction, and trust. We already kind of talked about that, so that's not going to be some of a repeat. So here we go. Here's our platforms. And so when we talk about these and here's the history of it. So Facebook came out. It was a post post stuff on your page, right? Or on your news feed, if you want to call it. And that was really how Facebook worked. And then we had well that we don't talk about here, but LinkedIn, or I mean, I'm sorry, Instagram. Instagram, sort of the same thing, less text, just pictures. And then, was it about 4 or 5 years ago, this Chinese company came out with this thing called TikTok. And people went nuts because all it was these videos that they were just really entertaining garbage, right? That's what I see it as, entertaining garbage. But it blew up. And so, here you got Mark Zuckerberg on Facebook says, you know what? That is, people want that. So we got to do something here. So then what does he do? He builds reels and then he makes Instagram be able to play video as well. And so that became a competitive product. And now people make the reels. And then he came out with something called the story. So the story, you know where that lives, right? That's the video that's giving me the most the both of them, the reels and the stories. But the stories, where do they live? They live right on the top of your social media when you open it, right? So you know where I'm talking about, right? They're little. I think Veronica, you have one out there, a story. So when you open up your Facebook, you see the stories. So imagine the fact that when you think about this, when we think about advertising and how expensive advertising is, and all of a sudden somebody gives us free advertising, and then on top of it gives us premium placement advertisement, and they give it to us free, and it's above all the paid ads. Who does that? Where in the world, in any place, can you get that kind of action? No place. That is your premium opportunity, and that is where it's happening. So now we have Facebook stories. And then what happens? So YouTube, what are they made for? They're made for, like long videos of how to do something or a training or something like that. And they're like, hey, we need to do that too. So then they come out with YouTube Shorts. And so they have the 60-second same videos. And then LinkedIn, they also incorporated the same thing. So all these platforms, they have kind of a different type of audience. But the crazy cool thing is when you make these videos, you can put them out on all of those platforms now and get a lot of attention. So think about the fact that you make one 60-second video and you've got audiences on all kinds of platforms, and none of them ask for a single penny for payment. It's remarkable. It's amazing. So this is what this is about. So I post on all of these platforms. Um, I'm getting some traction. Only been doing it 60 days, but I probably put out 50 videos in 60 days.
Are you able to download one video and then from there it could go to the other platforms, or you have to do it one by one?
So right now I upload it to I log into the platform and upload it. But probably within 2 weeks, I won't do any of that anymore because my AI will be doing all of it for me. It's already there. I'm just working on how to set it up, and then I'm going to be teach you how to do it. So you no longer have to do any of that. You just make the video, the AI schedules it and posts it for you,
So that's good to
which
know,
is
Scott. But I know there
that's
is a platform out there called Social Pilot, and you
mhm.
can connect all your different platforms to that and post it once, and it'll post it to all of them. So it'd be great if AI can just do that.
It does. So the AI that I'm working with is called Agentic AI. It's by Claude. It's called Colework, and I've already made it work, but it's got some tweaking to do. But it connects to I've got two platforms. One is called Buffer, and one is called Mericool, Mericoll, and
Mhm.
both of those are doing it. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to upload it to like YouTube and share it to Facebook. You don't want to share. You want to natively upload to the environments.
The other thing too
Okay.
is sometimes you want different captions per platform because algorithms will work differently on each platform. So
Yes. And
that's
that
important.
is and that is exactly where AI can help you because
Mhm.
that's exactly right. Any place where you can add a caption to the video, that caption needs to be optimized for the algorithm. And so I have
For that
a
platform.
sample I'm going to show you. I uploaded the same video to YouTube Shorts, and as of yesterday, then I did them almost right after each other. I changed the caption. One has 6 views, and the other one has 404 views. The same video,
Yeah.
and the only difference is the caption. But the cool thing is we can ask our AI, what's the best caption for getting the most hits on the algorithm for this platform, and it will tell you exactly what to put there. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
And
So,
YouTube, I know you can add video tags as well.
yes.
That helps
Hmm.
as well, so.
Yep. Yep.
So, are you paying the AI, the Chat GPT membership or?
No, no, we don't. I don't use ChatGPT. It's a agentic AI called Claude.
Oh,
ChatGPT, all you're doing is a conversational chat. This is a completely different thing. And
so,
when I show you next week
uh-huh.
what it will do, you will be completely overwhelmed.
So
Okay.
it's an AI agent that you've built in Claude?
Yes. And
Awesome.
it's taken me weeks, and I have got it together so that we have the files to help you build your own. We
Okay.
have the brain file, the branding file, and the business builder file. And then I'm building the skills. So you no longer,
Platform that we have to pay for though? Or
you would need to pay $20 a month for it if you
gotcha.
wanted. But I can tell you, it
It'd be worth
writes
it.
your emails, it checks your
Yeah,
emails, it puts things on your calendar just by voice command. I
that's
mean,
amazing.
and I got it so it goes in the MLS and pulls expired listings and everything.
Nice.
Oh,
So
nice.
I can do it. I can tell it to do anything I want, and it can put leads into your Lofty. I mean, it can rewrite your Canva listing flyer automatically without you even logging in. It's amazing. So yeah, and I'm just every day I'm like, I can't believe it does this. So it's amazing. So, but it's a little complicated, but not complicated. Once we set it up, all you do is talk to it literally with your voice and say, "Hey, could you check my email and see if there's anything urgent?" And if it says, and it'll tell you, "Well, please read it to me." Okay, could you respond to it, please? And it will do all of it automatically. So, anyways, let's get back to this. Facebook Reels. I actually think that I try to put all mine in. So I don't know if I'm doing it the right way, but I always make my stories. And when you make your story and you put it up, you can share it as a reel. So that's the process I do. And so I'm not going to talk as much about this as I am the story because this is, to me, the most incredible thing any of these platforms have. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. When you put a post out, if you're getting any kind of likes or comments, God bless you. If you put anything in that post, a graphic of a real estate sign or Florida Luxury Realty logo or something like that, the algorithm says, no visibility. They're trying to promote. You won't get anything. You're not getting any exposure. If you put, so I've been a proponent to say, if you're promoting your new listing, put a link in there to send them to your Lofty landing page about that listing so that you can get them as a lead. Well, the same thing. What happens is or Facebook says, you know what? They're taking the person out of Facebook. We don't like that. So they don't show your post. They sort of like it's there, you see it, maybe a couple people see it, but no one really sees it. So here is the magic wand, in my opinion, of the story. The story that's premium position, it has a little thing in it called a sticker. So when you make your story and you push it up there, you can add some music to it, you can do some things, but there's a button that says add sticker. And within that sticker selection, there's a button that says link. So if you go on you have to see the story for it to work, but um, so then you can actually make a link outside of Facebook. So I made myself, just like I teach you, I made myself some Linktree pages. So every time I do a seminar class for you, like a roundtable so for the AI and for this class, I just made a Linktree that promotes that class, and I'm trying to get other agents to maybe attend and get them interested in Florida Luxury Realty. And so that's what I've been doing. And it lets me do that. And so I say something super, super cool, super, super valuable. The person clicks on the link, they go to my landing page. Then I got a nice pretty flyer about the seminar, and then they can click on that and register. Okay. So it's incredible. And so there is no other free opportunity like that in Facebook where they actually make it visible and they will put your stuff out there and they don't care that they're linking you outside. So that is the magic wand that I say. And so that is huge. And so when we talk about Facebook stories, I also want to say I see people like sharing a post as an image and making that a story, or they just share a picture and put it in there. Well, the problem with that is your story is two-dimensional, because if you only put something stale, a stale image up there, its only lifeline is 5 seconds. It's done in 5 seconds. When you have the ability to keep them for 60 seconds when they click on it. But the only way to keep them for 60 seconds is either put multiple stale pictures up because it will splice them together, or do a video that maximizes. And so every one of my videos is actually 60 seconds I mean, if there's 159 seconds, I missed it. I should have got 60. And so that's what I'm trying to do. I want to keep them, and I want to give them a lot of value. So I make 60-second videos and I put them in stories, not stale pictures. That is a waste of that valuable space. Okay. So another thing I want to tell you, you know what? I have a business page just like you probably do, and then I have my personal page. My business page, it's just so freaking hard to get anybody in there, right? So I don't care. My personal page is where I put all my energy. It just works. And so if I want to talk about something I do with my family, no problem. I do that all the time. But when it comes to what I could use that, because it only lasts for 24 hours exactly, And that's another thing that causes people to drive them with interest is the fact that, oh, if I don't click on it and see what Scott says today, it's going to be gone in 24 hours. Right? So that's another reason. So that space, that story, that premium spot, you should say, you know what? I'm in the real estate business. I'm in for business for myself. I'm here to create business for myself. I can post stuff to my friends about my dinner last night on a post, but when it comes to utilizing that story space, I'm going to use it for business. I'm going to make a business video for that space. That is what you should be doing. So hopefully that all makes sense. Zero, no cost. It's just incredible environment. So, but this, to me, the stories, and when you do create a story and you create it as a video or you create it as anything, as soon as the story's posted, if you have Instagram as well, and to do the reels, it has two buttons up in the upper right corner that you can push share as reel and it automatically makes the reel and post it for you. And then the other one is share to Instagram. So it puts a duplicate over on Instagram account without doing all that manual work as well. Any
So
questions?
with all these tips that you are just providing to us, are you doing this without paying any fees to these third companies?
No fees.
Fees? Okay.
Zero. Okay.
Okay.
Except for I do have the pro account in CapCut for editing.
Mm-hmm.
I do
Yeah.
have that. $20 a month.
Okay. Yeah.
But
That's I have that one too, and then that's
okay.
Okay. Mhm.
Um,
Thank you.
So here is the way this works. We did an exercise yesterday in the classroom because I wanted to try to hit home with this. Advertising is all about what can I say in the very first sentence to grab them, okay, and keep them. Because if you don't say anything striking or compelling, they see and they listen for 3 seconds and they're gone. And so when I looked at my videos that I were posting in the beginning, um, it actually showed me how long people watch the videos. So I have analytics that says, hey, people watched in 70 people watched it and 67 of them left after the first 3 seconds. Well, that means it sucked. It was not good. So that's called a hook. And the hook is, and so we're going to have some examples here. And when you do this, if you want, if you have ChatGPT, if that's your environment now, you can say, hey, I want to do videos, I want to do Facebook Reels or Facebook Stories, and I want to talk about this, and I need a strong hook. It knows exactly what that means, and it will give you a strong hook. And I'll give you an example. If you hit my video and the first thing I says, you can't make this stuff up. That's kind of a hook. It's like, what are you talking about, Scott? You can't make this stuff up. Or something very compelling. That's a hook. And then it's got to have a strong message. And then the end, always, no matter what you do with video, if you're doing a listing video and you're doing a walkthrough and telling about the home, at the end, you should have call to action. The call to action in most of the videos that we do for our link trees, I've taught you to use a good call to action is who you choose matters. And that's a great thing. It's right. It is true. Who you choose matters. If you think this home is for you or you just need a great real estate agent, who you choose matters, call Veronica. Da, 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 da. So you always want to have a call to, you always want to ask for the opportunity to serve them. Call to action. The call to action also on the stories is your sticker link, right? So, sometimes I'll say, if you want to learn more, click the link. Now, the problem is when I resurface that same video on the other platforms, you can't click a link in the video, so it don't work. So I kind of don't do that anymore. I'm like, it's just there, and I think people get it. So because I want to make it rounded wide. So that's the 60-second video clip. I'm not going to talk about that. YouTube. So these are just the different platforms. I don't need to get into detail because have you been on YouTube lately? Have you seen shorts? Okay. I'm going to show you one. So TikTok, have you been on TikTok? TikTok is not your professional level stuff. But you know what? If somebody's going to see it, if all I got to do is push a button and it's there too, what the heck, right? So who knows what might happen? So I'm building a small audience there. I don't really play in that at all. Some of the stuff there I don't even want to see. So, uh, LinkedIn, now you're more professional, and I'm getting good attention on there. I am now um, almost 22,000 followers on my LinkedIn, and that's I've been in it for quite a long time. But the video, you can write stuff, but when you sit there and tell it, and it's coming from you, it's more valuable, and it's really the right way to show authority. The one that knows their stuff, the one that can help people, the one that knows what to do. So. This just shows cheat sheet, but once again, I just say, all about 60 seconds in length if you can. Nobody remembers the third bullet point. Everybody remembers the story, the family who almost lost their dream home and didn't. And so what I did was I gave a basically an exercise, and that was I don't know, I'll try to. I don't know if I have that available, but basically, I gave a scenario in the class yesterday, and it was basically I said, uh, you were serving buyers. We're on closing day. The closing's scheduled for 4 o'clock. You know that you can do the walkthrough at 3 and make it to the closing table at 4, and you and the buyers get to the home at 3, and you look, and the washer and dryer are gone that was in the contract. So what do? You call the listing agent and only find out that they're on a moving truck 2 hours away. And the buyer's rate lock will expire if we don't close today, and they have no place to go. So what do? So I said, you are a good agent, so you put together a document to hold back escrow until the washer and dryer come back and satisfactory to the buyers before that's released, meaning that you can close on time, the buyers have a place to live, da 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 da. And so I said, so what's your hook? What's the story, and what's your call to action? And so that was the exercise we made. But I had already made a video, and I don't think I can play it here. That's the problem. So I can share it with you later so you can see what that example looked like. But the other one was, and so that is so much valuable because you told the story about how you saved the deal and how you know your stuff and the value of that compared to an agent that would just fumble, right? They would just like, oh, I don't know what to do. And that's the difference. The other one is I made a video that said, so just recently, what did we get in the mail? We got the trim notice, right? The tax trim notice. So think about when you do this is what's relative, what's current, what's action. And so I made a video, and this is educational, and it basically says, hey, did you get one of these in the mail? And it boop comes up a picture of the trim notice. And the first thing I want to tell you, this is not a bill, but it is based on what the appraiser said the home's worth, and then how much taxes are going to be paid. If you think the amount's wrong, you can go to the hearing, da 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 da. If you ever get something in the mail about your real estate and you don't know what it is, DM me. I can help you. So that's educational, that's current, that's speaking to people with something that's relevant to them today. And that's the kind of content that we're talking about when I speak about this. Trust, relevance, authority. So testimonial video. So instead of putting a picture of the sold home and a sold banner, maybe do a testimonial video with the client, to share what the experience was like, or you just describe the experience like I shared in the first example about the washer and dryer. That would be way more powerful than just showing that you got the darn thing closed and something closed. So you have 3 seconds, the hook, and I can send you some examples of hooks, but there's really kind of three different ones. Specific, 3 things buyers get wrong in Newport Richie right now. See, that's like, well, what do you mean? What do you mean buyers get wrong? That's a hook. So you're like grabbing their attention and then giving them content in the story. The contrarian, this $750,000 listing has a flaw nobody talks about. Well, that's weird. What do you mean? $750,000 house and it has a flaw? The numerical, the one negotiation line that saved my clients $12,000. And then you tell the story. So it's the most important thing is that hook. And that's the piece you got to learn in the practice of marketing is hook. And that's the same thing I teach you when you make listing descriptions is have a strong hook in your listing description so that it works like that. We're going on time. Okay, we're getting there. Fill in the blanks. We kind of went over that. Just different ideas. So I'm going to kind of stop there because we were right at 6 o'clock. But the last thing I want to do, and I can send you some more information on this because I got an entire playbook, but I took the time and I got a bunch of screenshots. I just randomly did this over the last 60 days because I said, you know what, I just want to capture different moments and see how I'm doing. And so I don't know exactly the date of any of these unless it says it. Oh, actually, this one says June 20th. Okay. So here I'm just showing that I had one by the time I looked at, I had 128 views, but I've had stuff with 2,000 views and crazy stuff. But here's the kicker. We're making these link trees, which I'm like, these are magic wands. But then I'm looking and agents are pretty much, they don't say anything to me, but they're like, they're not doing anything, Scott. They're not doing anything. Well, you know what? Nobody knows. Unless somebody knows. Nobody's going to go there, right? So I'm here making these shorts, right? And these stories, posting them with a link, and look what happens. This is one I did from June 10th to June 16th. I had 399 people click on, go into it. And then when they got into it, 63 of them clicked on one of the options. So it works. I did that and nothing, no cost, zero cost. Look at this. From July 7th to the 13th, 567 people clicked and went into the link tree from just those free posts, those free stories and reels. I didn't get very many clicks though, but at least I'm getting people in there. Here's another one, June 13th to 19th. This is probably a different link tree, 414. So it works. Here is another version. So this was just an image. Once in a while I get caught up and it'll get a video out, and I at least want to put something every single day in that space. And as much as I said don't put still images, I do. But I always put something that could be valuable. It's like a business type motivator or something. Being busy is easy, being productive is rare. Only one of them builds anything. Let tomorrow be proud of yesterday, blah, 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 blah. And so people see this and it's consistent. So what you'll see here is average watch time under audience retention, 3 seconds. Why 3 seconds? Because that only lasted 5 seconds. It only lasted 5 seconds because it wasn't a video. And if it was a video, it might have got a lot more, but it did get significant. I had over 200 views, and it only lasts for what? 24 hours. You're not getting any Facebook post with 200 views unless you're paying. This is the only way. Okay. This is another something, another. That's me. Content reach. So it's giving me a little more, 13 content, 1,300 views, up 23%. But I've had a lot more. This one, so I just got different screenshots. I've had them here. I'm down. I was gone last week, so that the views went down, but I'm building a pretty big audience. And then over on my YouTube, this is my YouTube channel. I have these down here in my shorts. I look pretty wild there, right? So it doesn't really have any control of my where the video starts when it takes a picture of it. But the ones on the ones actually over here, the first one, it says it has grab a little with my AI glasses on. See, it says 6 views. And then look at the one on the right, the same one with over 400 views. I posted them both, changed the text, and seriously a different amount of access. So these were the ones I did for practice yesterday. And I showed how to do editing and things like that. So hopefully this resonates and maybe gets you to not just say, yes, Scott, I can see this could work, but get yourself to actually do this. This is where it's at. This is free. This is amazing, and this could put you in a better place. Not only maybe to actually finally attract more business, but at least have confirmation that you know your stuff when people see your content. And if they're using it, appreciate you. And at this point, I'm going to end unless you have any more questions. So,
All right,
No,
thank you.
so far, so
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
All righty. Everyone, take care. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.